So today we get to talk about one of our favorite areas in the entire northern Idaho section. So we're going to be talking about Dalton Gardens and literally 9 reasons why you're going to love living there. So if you want to know everything about Dalton Gardens, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Wilkey.
And I'm Conor Hammons.
That's right. And in this channel, we literally do videos, so many videos about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, play right here in North Idaho. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know all those things, make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. We are getting so many phone calls. There's a lot of people moving and relocating here, and we absolutely love it. So days, nights, weekends, whenever you want to get a hold of us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back when moving to North Idaho. So I will mention there is one big reason why everybody wants to live in Dalton Gardens and why it's probably one of the coolest places in North Idaho. So that's going to be the last one, so stay tuned to the end of that. But Conor, let's start with number one of the huge reasons people love Dalton.
Yeah, man, I love Dalton Gardens, and the number one reason is the streets there are super calm. 25 mile per hour on all the streets throughout Dalton Gardens. There's a couple roads that are thoroughfares. 4th Street and 15th Street get a little crazy in terms of people trying to speed up through them. They've been putting in some, miles per hour, those little flashing lights that'll notify you, and people get a little upset on that. So if you're on 4th Street or 15th Street, it's not as calm, but all the other side streets are beautiful and calm. 17th, 18th Street, 16th Street, Snowberry, all these nice calm roads, and people love it because a lot of walking, biking, wildlife, and so those calm streets, people love that.
Yeah, I think that's perfect the way you say that. So you see all stretches of people from families with multiple kids all the way up to the retirees. And once you get tucked into these neighborhoods, I'm telling you, it is literally as calm as it gets. So people definitely enjoy that. And that goes...
One note on it, too. Sorry, before we jump into two.
Hey, give it to me.
There's no sidewalks. So that's one of the reasons those streets need to be calm. And that's why they release it that way. So people are walking, jogging on their hikes, no sidewalks, but really calm traffic.
Calm traffic and maybe some riding lawnmowers. You probably might see that. Number 2, a huge reason people love it there is that it's totally flat. Now, we live in North Idaho, literally mountains and windy roads, and so it doesn't matter what time of the year, but especially in that wintertime, having those driveways that are sloped up. In fact, even just some of the new construction neighborhoods that have a sloped driveway, if you have your car parked, you might wake up and that could slide down into the street. So everything in Dalton Gardens is 100% flat. So for the kiddos, all the sport courts and basketball courts and baseball, wiffle ball, all that stuff. And then for, older generations, a lot of like masters on the main and flat rancher style house. So very, very flat in there. Let's jump into number 3, a huge thing that people love.
Yeah, huge with families. The schools that Dalton Gardens feed into are very highly sought after schools. You have Dalton Elementary, which is one of the most sought after elementary schools. Canfield Middle School, right?
Go Cougars!
Mountains. Rival back in the day. I was Lakes, the downtown kid, but feed into Coeur d'Alene High School as well. So you got Dalton Elementary, Canfield Middle School, and then right into Coeur d'Alene High School, all right within the same vicinity. So they're really neighborhood schools if you live in Dalton Gardens. And one of the things with Coeur d'Alene High School, it's got less population right now than Lake City, which is the other school in Coeur d'Alene. They're doing a little bit of lot line adjustments on the boundary lines for all the schools, but essentially Dalton Gardens will always feed into those 3. Regardless.
Yes. Yep. And so it's funny, Conor and I have known each other for so long and rivaled basketball games and stuff. So, but that Canfield Middle School and Coeur d'Alene High School, Coeur d'Alene especially, is gorgeous, completely remodeled. So extra basketball courts, extra wrestling rooms, extra weight rooms for all this expansion. And then the Dalton Middle School for all my Dalton homies. It's kind of funny because I was a Hayden Lake guy right down the street and all my buddies were Dalton. So they went to school there in a barn. I am telling you, they always laughed that the actual lunchroom was down below, and so when people were walking, dust came down. But that is completely remodeled and probably one of the most sought after elementary schools in North Idaho. So great schools.
Pretty much a brand new school.
Yep. The other reason, so where we at? Number 4, the huge reason people love Dalton Gardens as well is that wildlife. So it's almost becoming a nuisance in a sense of how many deer are there. I am the biggest hunter fisherman ever, and we call them the Dalton Dandies. So I'm talking some of the biggest bucks you'll find in North Idaho are right in that neighborhood. But literally, my uncle lives on 18th Street, so he's up tucked against Canfield Mountain. Herds of elk up on the hillside. Deer all the time, birds. It's like you're living in nature, but you're right next to the city. So you're definitely going to see a lot of wildlife there. And with that being said, there's also a pond there called Totten's Pond, for some fishing. It's tucked towards the back, towards Canfield too, so super sneaky.
I'm gonna revert back to number 1 on the list too with the calm streets. You don't want to be driving too fast down 15th or 4th Street because of the wildlife, right?
You will hit deer. Yep.
A lot of people hit deer, and so that's another reason they have those calm driving streets.
Yes, and I guess with that being said, being an Idaho guy and a big hunter, years ago picking up salvage deer, and maybe that might gross you out. I don't care. I got to put this out there for the people who do like hunting and want to know the rules. It's actually legal in the state of Idaho to salvage that animal. You call the Fish and Game, they will provide you with a salvage tag for free, and you can salvage that meat. We've done it numerous times, and it's also a way my dad. We love doing that, and we provide burger for people who need food too. So you may see somebody picking that animal up. Just know that that's legal. Let's jump right into it.
That's way too North Idaho. Right?
I've done it so many times. So let's jump into the next one here, number 5.
Number 5 is people love Dalton Gardens because it's established. No new developments going on in the area. It's an old neighborhood, so there's no real zoning or no apartment complexes going up. There's no planned developments or suburbs within Dalton Gardens, and so people really enjoy the fact that it's established. You're all single family homes on large plots, and that's just a big point.
Yeah, there's nothing more to say about that other than you're just never going to see this huge construction, this new development. It has its own city hall there, and I mean they govern it, so it is what it is. And with that being said, there's really no available lots or anything, so
you'll get a new home that's built. You tear down a small old home, but that's about the only construction you're seeing in there.
Yeah, and so if you are looking at that area, but you really want that nicer, newer style home, we see that a lot. But these homes don't come available a lot, so you really got to reach out so that we can keep our eyes. And we know so many people in there that we're eyes and ears of what's coming available. So I'm going to jump into the next thing that people absolutely love about living in Dalton, and that is literally right behind you. Your backdrop is Canfield Mountain. So you have Canfield Middle School, but you have the mountain right there, and there are so many access points to literally just hike all the way up to what we call the towers, and then you have 360-degree views of over Hayden Lake. You have views all the way to Coeur d'Alene. So growing up right just next to Dalton as Canfield Mountain in my backyard, literally you can head up there, and I've watched the 4th of July fireworks from up on that mountain. I've done a lot of beer drinking up on that mountain. I've done a lot of things up on that mountain, but there's hunting there, there's hiking, and that's one thing. If you're going to come there and you're going to hike in those areas, just know that it is national forest up there once you get up a ways, and that people ride motorcycles, 4-wheelers, but incredible hiking trails in nature. So that is what people love. So let's jump into number 7.
Yeah, number 7 is Dalton Gardens super tight-knit community. So I think I spoke on this a little bit in another video about Garden District. Much like the Garden District, I feel that Dalton has a real sense of community within it. A lot of young families have moved in there that I'm friends with quite a few of them, and they always have events, get-togethers. Kids are riding their bikes, playing with each other all summer long. You'll see lemonade stands, produce stands, and it's just a really cool vibe within Dalton, and it's something unique within Coeur d'Alene and the Hayden area that not a lot of other communities have.
Yeah, you nailed it. There's literally, you'll be driving by and you'll see like 10 neighbors in a circle just BSing. So if you ever need anything, or everybody's always sharing tractors, but it is cool. You drive down most of those roads, especially 15th Street, and they have the produce stands. So all of your organic produce are coming straight from a Dalton property right there. So it is very tight knit. So I'll get into number 8, and it is location. Literally, you cannot find anything, I think, really in the world like this. You have what we'll get into next, the most important thing, but you're right in the middle. You have Hayden Lake, so you have the Hayden Lake Country Club. You have the actual Lake of Hayden, maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes down the road, and then you can head 6 to 7 minutes to the south, and you have downtown Coeur d'Alene for all of the parades, the functions. So you have this very quiet community, flat, slow mile per hour, really tight-knit community, and you literally are right in the middle of Hayden and Coeur d'Alene. So that's what people absolutely love there. But we got to tell people what the number one thing about Dalton is. Why don't you hammer on that?
Yeah, man, number one thing, and you hit it too in terms of location, but it's so unique to have a spot that has the property size. That
it was so hard not to say that the whole time.
You're like, oh my gosh. They have a rule where you can't have a lot lower than a Dalton acre, which I think is about 0.9 of an acre. So everything out there, all homes are on either usually an acre, or a lot of them are on 2 acres. Mm-hmm. And so you are literally in town with an acre or 2, a big shop. I mean, for those of you out there that love and watch Chip and Joanna Gaines, Fixer Upper, right? That's the vibe you're going to get with Dalton Gardens. You have mini farms, you have horses, you have chickens, goats. That's the vibe. But you're literally, like you said, 8 minutes from downtown with that much space. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so I'll mention property size. Now, Dalton, we're kind of, you lean more towards like the 16th, 17th, and 18th Street, which I've talked about. That's going to be, a lot more of the farm style. And then if you get in between Government Way and 4th Street, you won't see as many farms, but that's actually where you're going to start seeing a lot bigger homes. But you still have the acreage no matter where you go. And I've got family, I've got friends in there, and yes, they've got chickens, they've got goats, and you see different styles of living to where like you're either going to have that house right up tucked close to the street, and then everything behind you is like your giant shop, your sport court, your yard. And then you also see the ones where like they may have trees up front and a big long driveway all the way to the back where you're really secluded in there. So it's just an incredible place with your own acreage, minutes to everything.
You got to know how to drive a riding lawnmower if you're in development.
Yes, you do. And and that's one other thing we should talk about. You live in Dalton Gardens. I mean, you're going to want equipment because every yard in there is absolutely pristine. That's like, in fact, I know a good family of mine that have been over there. They have one of the most lush flower gardens and gardens I've ever seen. So it's over off 17th Street. I'm talking thousands and thousands and thousands of different plants and everything. So people love their properties. They manicure them. So you're definitely going to have to invest in some equipment there. But the only way that you're literally going to be able to find a place in Dalton, because they go hot, you got to reach out to us so that we can help you find it. The only way to do that, you got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, weekends. However you want to get a hold of us, guys, we got your back when moving to North Idaho. And until our next video, we'll catch you later.